Today, we're gonna go on a mega road trip. What do you think the country should know about what's going on out here?
This is known as the $1 billion road.
Just completely flooded over here.
Purest quartz in the world come out of Spruce Spot.
We're just gonna keep following these dump trucks out in the middle of nowhere. Apocalypse Hauler. Are you a back to the lander? This is cool. So it's just a mini home out here.
Super tiny living for sure.
What's going through your mind when you're stranded out here? No power, no communications.
How's my neighbor? It's like
We just got here today.
Texas representing.
These are Amish volunteers.
socializing with everybody. It's a good time.
And here is our Walmart.
Oh, look at all the rebuilding.
The government can't help us because there's no legal way for them to give us money.
Don't be frustrated with us traffic people. We're getting there.
It's been either extreme blessings or you lost everything.
September 27th, 2024, Hurricane Helene came smashing through this southern part of Appalachia, leaving all sorts of destruction behind. Roughly 8 months later, what are things like now? So today we're going on a mega road trip. We're gonna go north, up through these mountains with the goal of getting all the way to Tennessee, talk to the locals, see the sights, to get a better understanding of what things are like now. Let's do this. Guys, we're coming up on a place called Cane River, and I'm just gonna follow these trucks. So as you could see along the drive, and that was about an hour and 20 minutes, everything looks normal. And so I've spent long enough time in the region to know that you can go down a certain road, be in a certain area, and you know, nothing was affected. And then you can go over a hill down near River Valley, and it's a different story. It's really tough to comprehend the scale of this, how much territory this covered. You can see the massive carnage down there. It's like a whole forest has been uprooted and put on the side of the riverbanks. House across the river, totally fine, but the way to the house, not. Look at that bridge was just taken right out there. I doubt they're living up there because there's no way out.
I was on the hill videoing this, so I have got video to show you what was going on.
Okay.
What it looked like afterwards. And I've tried telling people, do you think the average local resident can afford to run these trucks, clean up this debris?
Ton of trucks coming in here right now.
Yeah, no, there's nothing now compared to what it was.
Really?
Oh my God. I think that's important to show some befores and afters.
100%.
I had so many interviews out here, it's ridiculous. Lots of promises, oh, we'll send you the links and everything else. I get everything second and third hand and then find out what they're actually putting out there, and it's nothing I've said or done.
I think the majority of people that come in here have a story they need to fill, right? And the narrative I need to fill is only listening to the locals. And so I try to talk to as many people as possible. Your story is going to be different than someone else's, but I want to get as much as I can get.
But let me tell you, when you're talking to locals, maybe ask them, did they physically go and apply early with FEMA or for help? Did they follow up on it? Or did they sit and wait for somebody to show up on their doorstep? Which I talked to people and they were waiting for FEMA to show up, and I'm like, it doesn't work that way. They don't know where you are. There are people back in hollers. There are, people up on top of high mountains. This is not Florida where it's flat and you can drive down the road and find somebody that's got a problem. You have to be proactive if you want help here.
What about the people that, see, you're off a main road, your access,
I get
now
help.
it's easy.
As long as I was on the property and I was here every day, there were constantly people stopping in.
Those way back in the haulers that couldn't leave, that's when they had the problems?
And neighbors had to let somebody know where they were.
Okay.
I used to own both of these houses. I sold that one in 2020. This was over 120 years old. This had been through every documented flood. At 2 o'clock in the morning, it had 4 to 5 feet clearance under the bridge, normal. 6 o'clock in the morning, it was midway in the road and it was backwash. That is normal. I went in the house, made coffee, and I've never done this before, but I walked out on the front porch. This was before 7. The water was halfway up this foundation. It never hit the foundation before.
7:11 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see where the water was halfway up here.
Oh, wow.
In fact, it might have been a little bit above
How
because
scary was that?
that became scary. I mean, for the first time in all the years I've lived here, the fire department was out the day before asking everybody, do you want to evacuate? I said, no, I'll go up the hill. Not thinking that anything close to what we experienced would happen. Now, this is 922.
Oh, wow.
This is 924. That's a 2-car garage. There goes everything at 927.
The house, you just saw your house go down the river.
House, 2-car garage, big shed that was up here.
Wow.
That's a 24-foot shed. That's where the road ended. It has been written up in the Washington Post and several other major newspapers. This is known as the $1 billion road. It is costing $1 billion, 22 miles here, because we had so many bridges taken out. So even if people's houses survived, they couldn't get to the houses.
So, what's your take on the response, the assistance you received? What are your thoughts on that, if you're to break it down in the easy nuts and bolts of it?
Okay, well, I stay informed on some things, probably a lot of things, and I was in the commercial roofing industry with Firestone and a Belgian company, so I used to travel to disasters to work with customers.
Okay.
So I've been in disasters before. One of the things I learned is the first thing you do is you contact your insurance company. They give you a letter, well, we're not covering floods. You go to FEMA immediately. So the flood was on Friday. My son came up from Myrtle Beach on Monday.
Okay.
And I said, I have to get to Wi-Fi. You have to understand, we had no communication here at all. Nowhere in the area. Because there were so many people that came in to help. I mean, it was overwhelming because they all came in. Mm-hmm. Well, it overwhelmed the system.
Okay.
So you couldn't do text, you couldn't do phone calls, you had no Wi-Fi. There was zero communication, and you can talk to anybody here. That was one of the biggest problems. We couldn't call family.
For how long?
A couple weeks. And what I did is my son took me to Charlotte. I got on the internet. Actually, it was Tuesday morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning. I filed with FEMA. 8 hours later, I was contacted by a FEMA inspector. We couldn't communicate with each other. I would always get everything late at night.
Okay.
And so it was Saturday before he could get out here. He couldn't come out here without my being here and signing off on it.
Okay, so your experience overall with FEMA
Has been excellent.
Been excellent.
Excellent.
Like A plus.
A plus.
So they gave you this trailer?
No.
Who gave you this?
They gave me the money. I bought the trailer. They gave me the maximum for losing a house, which does not, what a lot of people don't understand. FEMA is not an insurance policy. It's a disaster relief. It's to get you on your feet. It's to help you.
But they gave you enough for that?
Yes.
Okay.
But I lost, when you start adding it up, they gave me a check for $55,000.
Okay.
That's I mean.
That paid for that easily.
Paid for that.
So your plan is to live out of here until this is rebuilt?
It can't be rebuilt. See that kind of leaning gray post down there?
Yep.
See that horizontal line?
Yep.
That's base flood elevation. Anything that's built here has to be 2 feet above that line.
So just get up a little if you can.
Yeah, get above that level.
Okay. And so I guess it depends who you talk to. I've done already one video. I was in Batcave area, Santenello area. And so I wanted to cover ground here and get up to Tennessee today.
Yeah. Good luck.
It just, yeah. Depends who you talk to. Everyone sort of has a different take, different
Everybody
experience.
has a different take, but I'm going to tell you what, personally, because I've been around disasters, I have seen activity before. I've never seen response like this. What's happened now, you're talking about 6 months after a disaster, people get edgy, they're pissed off right now, you know, because things don't move as fast as they want. What they don't understand, most people are looking at their backyard, their community. This nation right now has got so many disasters going on. There are people in similar or worse shape than we are. There's a lot going on. Now, I want you to walk over here. This is all getting filled in. We used to call this the mini Grand Canyon. You're looking at parts of the road.
Look at that.
And they've come and scooped a lot of this stuff out. Look at all the fill dirt they're bringing in. They're bringing in trucks constantly to fill this in. This was all scooped out and gone.
Where are these workers coming from? All over?
All over the country. The average person doesn't realize the hours that are put in. Like FEMA people worked long hours. They were here within days afterwards. They thought all this storm would go to Tennessee. They did not expect it here. They were here within days, but people tell you, well, they weren't here. They never showed up. That was social media's take. That's what they were getting off of Facebook.
So what works on social media typically? Luckily, I have an audience that wants to go deeper on things, but just trigger bait, get your attention.
You bet.
Get you enraged, move your emotions.
Analytics.
Yeah.
I love technology, the good side. The bad side of technology has really hurt people here because it's misleading. You know, the thing is how do you discern what's the truth and what's not the truth anymore?
That's an interesting detail we don't think of. Tax assessor, what'd they say? They're gonna reduce your taxes, what?
80%.
That's great.
All I've got left is land. Nothing on it. So, but you know what? They made me feel really good, and I feel they do this with everybody, but they told me they wanted to make sure I stayed here. And I told them honestly, and I'll tell anybody this, after going through this disaster, and I always felt this was the place to be if there was major issues. I was I was prepared for any disaster but this. I mean, I was always prepared for a lot of stuff, and I would never live anywhere else. This reaffirmed my purpose of being here.
It's a beautiful part of the country.
It's not just the scenery.
The culture.
It's the culture, it's the people.
Yeah, I love Appalachia.
Yeah, I do too.
Feels like there's deeper roots or something.
They're real.
Snakebite Holler Lane. And this was it. And you can see how a road went down here somehow. And you can see the side of the bridge still remaining. Now there's a temporary pedestrian path. And so there's just all along the riverbank here, this sort of thing. And so this is my second video on this topic. The first one I posted last week. I got in with different aid organizations and we got some exclusive access. That was a part south of Asheville, so quite far from here. So watch that. If you're liking this, watch that also. The goal of this video is just to freestyle. I'm totally freestyling and just showing you what I come into as I drive along these roads. So see if we can talk to this guy here. How's it going out here right now?
Just trying to get them a way to walk in.
They lost their whole bridge. Where are you guys from? I've seen a ton of trucks going up here. Does it get worse as you go up, or what's the story?
Yeah, it's the further you go down, the worse it gets. Oh, hollows that come down, and all of it comes together and goes out, and then it meets another river that comes out of Spruce Pine. And I mean, it's just unreal.
Still a ton of recovery to do?
It's unreal.
Years.
Yes, sir. It'll be years.
See, here's the worst.
You can go down here to that third concrete bridge and take a ride across it, and you can tell it widened the river 50 foot or more than what it used to be. It was never this wide, and I've lived here my whole life.
You guys doing all right? Does it feel good doing all this work, or are you just you're tired of it?
Making money from somebody that lost everything.
You don't.
But I can't afford to do it for free.
And see, we volunteered the first 3 weeks. We volunteered around. There's a lot of volunteers came from everywhere.
Yeah.
The first 3
I've done
weeks.
a lot of septics, put people's septics in. We done them for nothing. But I can't keep on and on and on.
You gotta eat. Gotta fill the tank.
Yeah. I gotta eat, pay bills too.
What do you think the country should know about what's going on out here?
Well, some people is doing a lot of good, and some people is taking advantage of the situation.
That's what I was told. I was told
Contractors are taking advantage.
I was told yesterday some contractor came in and offered a guy like $1 million to make a bridge that's shorter than that one. The people I talked to, they said 85%, if you're to break it down, 85% have good intention out here, are doing good work. And then there's about 15% that are taking advantage of.
I'd say it's more like 30% or a little higher.
It's like these guys running around hauling this brush with these 250 Ford trucks and a big trailer.
The dump trailers, you see them hauling up debris.
Yeah.
$250 an hour is what I heard they got.
$250 an hour.
Yeah. It's around a pickup up and down the road for a trailer.
So anything of this scale, you're always going to get some losers in there that take advantage, huh?
These are Amish volunteers.
From
Oh, yeah?
Pennsylvania. And then yesterday they had a van from their same organization, and they came and they had like refreshments and everything. The women came. Well, the women have been working here too.
Okay.
Which is unreal.
So there's been a lot of Amish and Mennonite help, right? Yeah. In the hurricane areas?
The little brown shed over there,
Yep.
that was a donation from a Mennonite.
So you guys are all doing it for free. How's it been so far?
Oh, it's been great.
It's been a great experience.
Really?
It's been upside.
Except for my begging dog.
I'm just recording this video about the area. Is that okay? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so
Probably 30 there at base. 30 people.
36 right now.
36. The main thing is socializing with everybody. It's a good time.
is it cool being in the English world like this, or what are your thoughts?
I mean, this is what I'm used to.
Okay.
I work away. I don't work at home anymore. I still live at home.
Are you guys on Rumspringa?
Yeah.
So Rumspringa, for those that don't know, you get like a year or so to go off into the world and then decide if you want to come back or stay?
It's kind of up to each one. So once we get baptized into the church,
Okay.
the Amish church, is when we're supposed to follow the rules.
Okay.
So there's not a certain age that you're supposed to get baptized, you know.
Have you guys all been baptized?
No.
Are you going to?
Are you Hunter?
I mean, I'm not gonna say for sure. I like how I grew up. I like how my dad and mom raised me.
That's cool. Do you speak Pennsylvania Dutch?
Yeah.
So when you guys are working together, you speak Pennsylvania Dutch with one another, or you speak English?
No, we speak English.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I've heard nothing but good things. I've been down in the area for a while. Everyone speaks about the Amish with praise, and it's really cool you guys came down. A lot of respect. Well, okay, ma'am. Sorry, I got distracted. I heard Amish and I ran down here, but tell us, you guys, I'm gathering your home was around here, and
Our home was right there. Our basement was pretty much this level.
Okay.
So we're building, that's going to be the top of the basement level, and then we're putting our living area up top. Operation Hilo, military-based organization. They gave us that Coleman, a 17-foot, is brand new, 2 of them. And we gave one to a woman that lost her husband in the storm. So we paid it forward with her.
Okay.
And that's what we were living in for months until this came about. With the 2 dogs and my husband, it was really.
So you decided, even though the flood came through here, you're going at it again. You're just going to fortify it well.
Well, yeah, we're making it much stronger than it was. It was built in the 50s. There is a grant program that is supposed to come, and they're going to bring in fill dirt and bring the rocks up that they can to bring our land back.
Okay.
So we're waiting on that to happen. But I have video of our house going down.
And did you apply for FEMA assistance?
I mean, they gave us the maximum for damages, which is our structure. But I mean, it's like we had to give our firstborn to get anything out of him. And they're denying his dad everything because we didn't have the property divided. So they're basically trying to say his house was like our second home.
Okay.
So they're only giving him like bare minimum.
So FEMA, let me get it straight. They did the emergency funding, but the insurance is going to rebuild, right? Is that how that works?
No, we didn't have to have flood insurance.
Okay.
And we didn't. And my insurance company came out and they said it was the waters from the storm and nothing like that. They would cover nothing. I got $5,000 from my insurance company and that's it. So the only money we've gotten is through donations, then just other organizations that's helped us.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If you don't have flood insurance, right? So the insurance company isn't going to pay because you didn't have flood insurance. That's when FEMA steps in, theoretically?
Correct. You have to go through your own insurance company first.
Right.
And once they deny you, you have to send the denial letter to FEMA. And they're supposed to kick in. Okay, so the maximum you can get for a structure is $42,500. And the maximum you can get for personal belongings is the same amount. But we have not gotten that. I've got an appeal going for personal belongings, things like that.
So a person in your guys' situation gets the maximum from FEMA, which isn't going to cover the rebuild, obviously. You get volunteer work. You get organizations that come in and help, like giving you this.
Right. If we were waiting for FEMA for a place to live, we would have had nothing.
No, river was frozen over this year. Solid.
Did they want you to move out and like pay for something?
They said that they would give us rental assistance.
Which they never did.
Which the problem with that was we had a 91-year-old man, his dad, that we have to take care of. Two huge dogs, so that limited us to where we could go because of the dogs. And it was like an hour and a half away. Mm-hmm. And we had people looting our property with what we had.
They were looting out here?
Oh, yeah. Right after, there were people walking down the roads that you could definitely tell weren't from here.
With backpacks on.
And say we had a gas tank, just like that. It's over there still, and it had a
blue barrel with the pump on the top. That was gas.
It had a hose with the gas pumper thing, and that was purely donation from a gentleman that came from South Carolina.
Okay.
And he drove up and down these roads.
Because we were all living on generators.
Yeah, and he would come every other day to help give us gas, kerosene if we needed it, which those people did, and propane, things like that. So he would come every other day to top us off.
Okay.
And that was purely donation from an organization in South Carolina.
So people really came through and helped out here.
Yeah, it was all people in community. People we've never met in our life have been the biggest help.
Okay, this is the story?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, not through it. No.
It missed it. Oh God, this is my whole home.
The damn kids. Oh my God, your house is done. Oh my God.
That's your place? Wow.
Took our whole house to like complete. And my two cats were in there.
Everything.
That's your neighbor shooting that from across the river? And whose home is this coming?
Oh, you couldn't believe this. That's our house right there.
Oh, that's your home.
Floating down the river. That's
Oh my God. Did you see it?
Yeah, we were on the top of the road there.
They have nothing. Their house is left.
Wow.
Take it out, there it goes. It's destroyed.
And their bridge got blasted down there, so. Oh, God.
Still tough to watch, huh?
Yeah.
Who built this for you?
It was Weekends with Warriors. They started the whole thing, and then another organization helped us finish it out, Baptists on Mission.
Okay. That's amazing how many people came through.
Oh, yeah.
Communities, small churches. People just came out of the woodwork, total strangers, like she said. Stop by from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
of
What
the
are the
road
chances?
come down, and they just are like church organizations dropping off donations.
Christmas time.
All the time. At Christmas, it was
They were
unbelievable.
constantly checking on us because everything was frozen. The trailer we ot's from 1993, so it was failing. It was freezing, and things were busting on that. The old girl is old. Like, you know, it's
But
old.
she's doing us right. Until you go through something like that and you walk out with the clothes on your back, that's all you have. It's like you're numb. I mean,
You know
we
what's
were
really
numb. We
humbling?
still are, kind
Is
of. But
2 days later, you're wearing other people's underwear. You know? Because, I mean, we were stuck. I mean, these
had
people had to
nothing.
bring us socks and underwear, and it's like, you go put those on, and you go, wow, my reality, like,
yeah.
on us on a moment by moment basis, completely changed. Like, you don't even realize how quick it can happen.
Because we had spent like 10 years renovating the house. There's just so much time that I look at now that what did it matter that if we bought the super nice tile opposed to the other tile? I mean, it's gone like that. So I don't care if I have a shed to live in or this. At least it's something over my head.
Are there any haulers out here where people are sort of removed a bit more and they're not getting the
Drive
help?
down here. Just keep on driving and you'll see.
Take a right at any of those roads that go back up.
If you drive down here,
Bloody Fork goes up in there.
yeah, there's a lot of areas that's pretty rough down there.
Okay, I'll check those
Some
out.
people lost their lives on Bent Creek.
Bent
that
Creek.
You can get, that's off of Bloody Fork. That goes up in there. That was
the lady we gave the camper to.
Yep.
Her husband, yeah.
Is the road all fixed up here for the time being?
No. No, we're moving this one on down.
How's it going?
Slow, but safe.
Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
Are you with the state? Are you with the state?
No, we're with Bright. We do the traffic control. And then Bright Civil is the company that is doing the pulling out the debris.
Okay, I'm trying to show people what's going on and update. How are things overall?
Facebook, social media.
We're looking good.
Everybody just be patient. Don't be frustrated with us traffic people.
We're getting there.
A lot of good spirits out here. Overall, I gotta say, really cool people in this part of the country. Am I on the right side of the road? This looks like a new bridge, or a temp bridge. Let's go talk to this guy over here. Really, guys, the camera's off a lot of the time on this cruise, but along the riverside, it's house after house like this right now. And then the ones up from the hillside, like that one, totally fine.
We're from Houston, just outside of Houston, Texas, and Katy, from Second Baptist Church.
So your church group came up here to help out?
Yeah, we've got a group of 9 men who are here to help out. We're going to be here through the 13th.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot of great guys who we work on a lot of things at the church in terms of construction and Christmas lights and all that kind of stuff, big construction things. And so I've got a great group here that's doing that.
Can you walk me through there? Is
Sure,
that all
I was
right?
going to say, let me introduce you to Mike Walsh. And why don't you talk to Mike a little bit here and take him through, right?
Okay.
He's one of our key leaders too.
Do you have any sawhorses in there, those collapsible ones?
There are none.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Good to have you. Excuse
Yeah.
the glove.
Oh, that's fine.
Is that on?
It's on.
Okay.
Say whatever you want.
No. Oh, I just want to say we're just here to help. We tried to get here earlier, but there was too much infrastructure that needed to be replaced, like telephone lines and roads and whatnot. So we got here as soon as we could and able to do something now that the infrastructure's back. So we just got here today.
No way.
Yes.
All right. Texas representing.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Love it.
We brought nothing but derelicts.
Daryl and his friend Derelict.
Strong in body, but weak in mind. Yeah.
So you guys are all volunteering.
Yes, sir.
Day one, so it's honeymoon period. Everything feels great, right? No one's sick of anyone yet?
Not yet. Give us a week, though.
A little bit. There's a few enemies already been made.
A few enemies. Someone measured wrong over there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so where do you guys all stay?
At the facility site. Baptist on Missions, Burnsville.
They set up a barracks in town.
Did you think it was this bad in the area before you got here?
What we saw in the news was bad, and just this drive up this road, whatever it's called, was eye-opening. Eye-opening.
Yeah.
We've seen hurricanes. So
you want this one open?
We're used to that. So devastation is not.
But not raging rivers like they got
No.
here. We're flat.
The topography makes it
We
tougher.
are flat in Houston, and this is.
So channel it like this.
It's just,
And you know what's crazy? I was down in Lake Lure. Do you know where that is? South here. I mean, it's a couple hours south. And it's same story.
Is it really?
Yeah, so it's like the scope is massive. Yeah.
the scope is massive.
Gorgeous country, though.
Oh, we have your blue.
Love it.
Yeah, we're more fascinated by the country than the devastation. If that makes any sense.
It's beautiful here.
It is gorgeous.
Oh, that's cool. You got a great group of guys in there.
We got a great group. You know, we waited for almost a year. You know, from the early time we talked to Samaritan's Purse and others about, and they said, look, we got to get roads, we got to get bridges, we need to get power.
Yeah, until you put your eyes on it, it's tough to comprehend the amount of infrastructure that had to be put back in. Just these roads, right?
Yeah, and I'm originally from Kentucky. I was born and raised in Kentucky.
Oh, nice.
So it's like I got an appreciation for
your
this
Appalachian
play.
roots.
Yes.
These are your people.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to come back. So these are wonderful people, right? And they're resilient. A lot of places I've been for, like Hurricane, I was in Louisiana. And, you know, almost in every area, the people they want some help, but they want to do it. They want to do it themselves. The homeowner was here earlier, so he's deeply involved in this kind of thing. And even despite all the loss, right, he wants to participate. So it's not like somebody just come in and do this for me, but do it with me.
That's so cool.
That's beautiful. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, no, thank you.
God bless you.
God bless.
Okay.
And you'll never forget this experience.
Yeah, and bonding with each other, right? We're a great group that has fun. They're a great group that has fun together too. So what better thing, right? Do it for the Lord, do it with each other. And
have some purpose, help the locals.
And help community. Thank you. God bless you, man.
God bless, sir.
Okay.
For those that aren't familiar with this part of the country, this is called a holler. And a holler is just a narrow valley that comes off a main road. My hope is that we can get a little more remote. We're already pretty remote, but get a little more remote and see what the story is up here. So far, so good with this holler. Everything looks pretty nice. Oh, spoke too soon. Something happened up there, they're rebuilding. Oh yeah, I definitely spoke too soon. It's got flooded out, looks like. Look at how beautiful this is with the river coming down. Let's see where the trucks are going. How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, what's an update? I'm trying to keep everyone informed what's going on.
Rough. I'll tell you that.
You're hanging electrical?
No, that's all fiber.
This is fiber, all fiber.
Fiber for
Cable
internet?
Cable and internet, yeah.
Okay, so people have internet up here or no?
No, yeah.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Starlink maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Georgia.
Kerry?
Cary?
Yeah.
Where's that?
That's a rally.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice. Just a slow process, huh?
Yeah. A lot of up and down.
Thanks for your work.
No problem.
Thanks, you guys.
So much. Take care.
Take care, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep, you can see there, guys. They're putting the internet back in around 8 months later. So it's just like the guy said from Texas, you know, when you have a flat landscape and a tornado comes through, it's just so much easier to manage afterwards with the rebuild than this landscape with tight valleys and rivers and washouts and all this topography creates a whole set of challenges, obviously. All right, guys, we're just gonna keep following these dump trucks. Come to a stop though, and this is where we're at. Not like that means much, but Tennessee, North Carolina, out in the middle of nowhere. And so where I was at last video, all the way down here, Lake Lure. And so what is that? I'm gonna guess 2-hour drive, at least the way I've gone today. And so when you back off, you know, Tennessee's in the mix, parts of Georgia, I believe, were hit, parts of South Carolina, but just the path is absolutely massive. So it's just, they're going up another road. Okay, they're just putting a load in. That's what's going on there. They're just setting up this road. How's it going, sir?
Going good so far.
So you're just hitting these little roads off the hauler right now?
Yeah. We're trying to get all with secondary gravel roads corrected up.
Okay, okay. How long you been out here for?
I've been out for about the last 4.5 months.
4.5 months. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Spruce Pine.
Okay. So how are you feeling about the recovery right now?
It's going better than I thought it would, so.
Good to hear.
The money seems like it's in place now, so.
The money seems like it's in place?
A lot's getting done. It don't look like it, but trust me, there's a lot getting done.
No, I'm impressed. The amount of trucks just on this one major road,
right?
It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Without you guys, no one can rebuild anything.
Right. So.
It's all about the dump truck.
It'll be a slow go, but we'll get it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This guy's great. How you doing, sir?
Good. How about you?
Good. Do you guys live here?
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm doing a video on the comeback.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How you doing?
Recognized you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, yeah.
Thank
I live
you.
up at the end of the road.
Peter?
Hi, Scotland.
Scotland and
John.
John. So how are things?
My family's about to come back up here. We just drove by and I saw you and I was like, that's Peter Santenello. How are things? Pretty good. It's been like either extreme blessings or you lost everything. It seems like that's kind of how things are around here.
Okay.
For us, there's been a lot of blessings. It's been really beautiful. I mean, I'm sure you saw the destruction.
Yeah.
On the way through. This is my family.
Your wife and kid?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Two babies. We're going actually to B-Log. Have you heard about B-Log?
What's that?
You should follow us down afterwards. So there was an old elementary school that got shut down. I guess it was probably 7 years ago. And right after the storm, the community came together and started using that as a space to take in donations.
So you live right up this hauler?
Yeah, we're at the end of the road.
This hauler is nice.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's like a new back to the lander movement mixed in with just old. Okay, yeah. Mixed in with like old people that have been here for generations.
Is that you, new back to the lander movement?
Sort of. My wife's from here. I'm from Georgia. And yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's been humbling though. It's like I thought I was a back to the lander and then I got out here and was like, whoa, like it's hard to make it cut here. And
people think like live off the grid, back to the land. It's the easy life. That's the hard life, I've been told, right?
Yeah.
You're not, you like have to do a lot of things that you normally don't usually do in the modern world.
Yeah, it's a lot. It was a big learning curve. And honestly, it's a money game. And if you buy something that doesn't have any infrastructure, that's a whole thing.
It's a conscious decision. And when you're raising kids, it's like, what environment do you want them to be in? Pros and cons to each one, obviously.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you definitely make them more resilient up here.
My first daughter, Fern, was born February of 2020. So we had just bought our house 2019. COVID hit and I thought that was the end of the world. So I went into like panic mode, bought 2 hogs, like 40 birds, a guard dog, fencing infrastructure, you know, and then just hit the reality of like, oh, you gotta like learn to be a dad. And so it's been like 4 or 5 years of trying to play from behind and get back on top of everything. It's interesting to see you doing your thing. Like,
oh yeah, I just want to show
so
what's
much
going on
energy.
here.
Yeah. Are you gonna do LA?
Yeah, I'll be out there soon, a couple weeks, but I wanted to make sure I got here first because it happened to you guys first.
This is Seth.
Seth, what's up, man?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Are you back to the lander too?
Yeah, I guess so.
Nice.
New movement.
That's great. I've seen, you know, it happened in the 60s, right? They went up to Humboldt County in California. They went up to Vermont. I don't know if you had the movement here, but there's like a resurgence of that.
Yeah, I think people are like cultural orphans, you know, or like trying to figure out how to be healthy.
Around here, it's just one generation away from whatever you call it, like already on the landers.
And you guys are young. You're in your 30s?
I'll be 30 this year, yeah.
36.
So you're seeing that a lot. Younger guys doing stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
You own all the land.
Yeah, like on this corner. So that's my mill over there. I'm building a house there starting in like a month, hopefully.
How nice is that soundtrack to sleep to?
Beautiful. Super loud, too.
Oh, this is cool. So it's just a mini home out here.
Yeah, so this is a shed I built, bones of it, years ago for storage. And then my brother Adam just moved here shortly after the storm, actually. And he's been fixing it up, making it real nice, and built this whole rock garden.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of plants and herbs and stuff in here.
Oh, this is awesome, man.
So what we did is we actually raised the roof and made a loft up in here.
Do you have any lights by chance?
No, not yet. We're working on it.
Oh, all right. Is that because of power issues or it never had lights?
It never had wiring or lights to it. So I have power over to that barn over there, but...
Okay, so I don't see a kitchen. Well, no, you do have a kitchen, and you just have all your legumes and spices and whatnot.
Yeah, super tiny living for sure.
And then there's
it's still work in progress.
Sleeping quarters up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually pretty big up there. There's another window, and it's like...
this is awesome, man.
Yeah,
Fireplace for the winter.
So almost everything in here is like recycled. Every single piece of it. So all of it, just little bits and pieces of trim to make it all pretty, you know, and it's all just scrap wood, basically.
Did you grow up here?
No, I didn't actually. I'm from Kentucky originally, but grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and then lived on the West Coast for a little bit. Lived in Colorado a little bit.
How do you like it here?
Oh, it's paradise. It's amazing. So this is a sauna, wood-fired sauna. This is actually a wood-fired, on-demand, gravity-fed hot water heater that I've made here. It kind of looks like a pizza oven. It's a prototype kind of work in process too. I've been adding more copper pipe to determine like how much per foot of degrees of rise of heat I get, you know. But figuring it out. I gotta rebuild it for the last time, and it's gonna work great. I used to have a bathtub down there.
Oh, nice.
So this is the wood-fired sauna. So this is 100%.
Oh, I love the smell in here.
Lumber here, yeah.
What?
It's all pine.
Yeah, that pine smell is great.
But I tell you, you can't make saunas out of pine because it'll
too soft.
It'll weep sap.
Okay.
Which actually burns you, but it's been good. I dried it out pretty nice beforehand.
So on a hot day, you just sit down here, put your feet in the river.
Yeah, so this looked completely different before because the floods washed your shit out, you know what I mean? It was like dammed up and all nice.
So when did you decide to make this conscious choice to live this type of lifestyle?
I feel like I've been slowly building up to it my whole life, really.
Okay.
You know, from like having a small garden with my dad, or like just roaming the countryside and living in a rural place in Kentucky as a young kid, you know. I've always been inspired by the natural world around me and working with it, you know.
Do you, if you don't mind me asking, what's your work up here, or your income, or is it just building?
So I have my own construction business.
Oh, cool.
Basically an unlicensed contractor, so I can only work to like $40,000 on my jobs.
Okay.
And I got a crew. John works with me. Adam works with me. I got 2 other guys on the street with young families that work with me. It's kind of cool because we're all in the same exact situation too, where we all have young families and we're trying to build a house.
Okay, cool.
Know? And so it's kind of fun having that tight-knit little community.
So it's pretty tight-knit in this holler.
Yeah.
We're going to B-Log Community and Relief Center, and we've got a vision. We'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
We're gonna roast a hog.
You're roasting right now.
No, we're going to roast our hog, baby Wanda, that we have raised from a sweet piglet to sell, to fundraise for B-Log, because we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. That's how we're gonna speak, is that it's gonna happen. Not we want to. We're gonna make it a community center, because for the last over 6 months, it's been the a relief hub for our community.
Okay.
So we need a bunch of money
Okay.
that nobody in this holler has. But we're starting with roasting a pig. So we'll see you there.
See that right there, the road totally taken out. That road we just drove down on the other side of the river wasn't even there. What a beautiful building. All right, so what's going on here? What's the story?
So we are a relief center at the moment.
Okay, so this is all donation?
All donation. Everything in this building is donation. So with us being here, it makes it easier for them to come get this and save their money at the grocery store to fix what needs to be fixed that nobody else is helping them with. We have clothes behind you, a whole store of clothes. And then we have, I'll take you here to our toy store.
Okay. They got some new toys over there?
Always, every kid comes in and gets a new toy. They love it. Parents come and shop for birthdays and whatever.
When you say shop, they pay for this stuff or
No,
it's free?
it's free.
Okay.
They get to shop, but you know, like they're shopping, they get to put it in a grocery bag and everything. So in here is our Walmart.
Whatever one would need, even bug spray.
Even bug spray. We are starting to run a little low on stuff, like mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup we just got in the other day, sugar, flour, stuff people need to cook with.
Right.
Meats, we start running low on it. We do have an Amazon gift registry. It's under B-Log Relief Center, and it'll be shipped straight
Okay, so
here.
that's not sending you money, that's getting on Amazon, they can buy you food, it will go here, and people can donate food.
Right.
Okay, great.
Wayne Orr with Deep River Farm on YouTube.
How are things for you guys?
We just helping these guys.
So, always hard to understand, especially for me, and I'm an outsider, I'm coursing through these towns quickly. What's the temperature right now, if you're to say, how are things overall? It always depends who you talk to.
It does. Depends on if there's somebody that's been washed out and flooded out versus somebody that...
just had a basement.
Yeah.
But even at that, some people can be completely washed out and be happy with the response and happy with FEMA, and others can be totally unhappy.
Happy with FEMA around here, do you?
No, they're not.
Around here, they're not.
No.
I wouldn't say anybody in Western North Carolina is.
Yeah.
The first lady I met this morning, she's a big fan.
Well, a
Got
lot.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends. Like some people have good luck and some people don't. I mean,
what about the reconstruction of the roads and the infrastructure? That looks quite impressive, I gotta say. All the dump trucks going through.
That has been a big undertaking.
Big. Yeah, massive.
It's still not done. There's a long ways to go. I mean, the roads are just barely wide enough to get a dump truck.
Yeah.
White line to yellow line, and it fit.
But I had no idea there'd be this much energy being pumped in here right now.
Well, you still got all these people who can't cross the river yet.
You do?
A bunch. Yeah. I mean, I just saw them toting gas cans across the river down there.
Where are they?
A couple miles
Cane
from
River.
here.
I mean, if you go up and down the Cane River, you'll see houses on the opposite side from where you're driving. They can't get there.
Some people still haven't been in their houses at all.
Yeah, because the bridges were...
Because the bridges were washed out and they can't get in there to get their belongings or...
Okay.
And something like 20 or 25% of the damage total was just Cane River, the 19W.
You're saying total of Helene?
If it was $5 billion of damage for Helene, $1 billion of it is
right there.
just 19W.
Okay, so I picked
just 19W.
So I picked the right road. I picked the right road to show.
I mean, that's probably the hardest hit area.
Okay, I was in Lake Lure. That was hit hard. Lake Lure, Bat Cave.
Was you able to get in?
Yeah, I got in with United.
So we
Cajun
were
River.
worse than Lake Lure was.
You were.
I mean, it just. Yeah.
You'd have to arm wrestle with them over that one.
But I mean, if you think about,
that's some beef you're starting there.
Now, so we are second worst. Pensacola was first worst.
Pensacola was bad.
Yeah, they're bad.
How is it Pensacola now? I was actually going to go there.
It's still in rough shape.
Okay.
It's worse shape than ours, yeah. They're working on it like they are here, so.
I'm trying to get my way to Tennessee. There's what the camera does not capture is the scope and the scale of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of territory.
11,000 square miles.
11,000 square miles?
Yeah.
We're talking into Tennessee and Georgia and
That's
all that.
just in North Carolina.
Okay.
600 and some miles of debris.
Right.
I ask a lot of people the same questions, and that's sort of how you understand what's going on. We're humans, right? We're all humans here, and humans there are good ones and bad ones. So from what I've understood, roughly 15 to 20% in this whole operation are grifting it, trying to rip people off, get extra money for bridge repair, stuff like that. 80% are doing the right thing. Is that fair to say?
You could answer that better than I could.
Yes.
Okay. So you have some people taking advantage of the situation,
Yes, we
coming
do.
in, overbidding things.
Yes.
But it's very much a minority. Okay, that's great.
Our operation started 3 days after the hurricane, and we set up Operation Mountain Relief, which was 21 churches combined, and we put in 60,000 pounds of food in 6 days up here. And then we started getting stuff ready for the winter, getting coats and warm clothes and tents and all that stuff here. That was 4 weeks later. And then we started vetting these relief centers to make sure they were legit and full nonprofit status and stuff like that. And we've been working with the church out of Flat Rock, Bethel Wesleyan Church.
Okay.
We stocked that church to the hilt, and warehouses on top of that this county let us use to bring in stuff.
United Cajun Navy, good reputation in these parts? Okay, that's who I did a video with before.
Yep.
They've been in here.
They've been great. Everyone's been saying good things about them that I've talked to.
They are awesome.
But we've been given propane since the first week for free.
Yeah, we swap out propane.
From who?
Our 21 Church Coalition has been supporting it, as well as some private individuals.
Dry man
I've been on
saddle.
that road.
It's mushroom.
Okay. I gotta go see Chris.
Oh, chicken of the woods.
No, it's not the same as the chicken of woods.
It's not.
No.
It's not. That
This
one.
is dry man saddle.
You mushroom picking?
Oh yeah.
That's a nice one.
Always.
We want to make it a community and relief center. We will have an apartment in the back in case somebody's house burns down. We have a place for them to stay. We want to teach everybody about gardening, canning, everything. If this ever happens again, everybody's ready and prepared. The flood has brought this community together, so let's keep them together.
But the problem out here, I'm seeing the raising of the children. You're not giving them tablets. You're making them color. It's really terrible for their, dopamine receptors.
That's pretty rough.
That's the school shut down 2 years.
Where's the TikTok? This is.
It's funny
this is
what
terrible
happens when
stuff.
you go electricity.
This is Disney.
It's called No Signal.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna backtrack a little bit, go to a place called Spruce Pine, which is a town that I believe has come back pretty well. We'll find out though. But before that, you can just see the ecological disaster with this sort of stuff. You got a battery there, a fuel tank, and all of this waste ended up to where we're going in Tennessee, sort of where this all slammed to a head from what I've been told. So we'll backtrack to Spruce Pine, check that out, get back on this road, go all the way to Irwin, Tennessee. All right, guys, here we are in downtown Spruce Pine. And I've actually been to this town before. It's a cute little town, some nice restaurants. All right, seems they're coming back. How you doing, sir? Good. You guys are coming back, huh?
Oh yeah. August.
End of summer, you're hoping. See, the glass shop is out here. How you doing, sir? A lot of activity going on. You're coming back. I'm doing a video on the area trying to show people what the status is. We appreciate it.
It's a good week to be down here. We're finally getting glass. This is the second business on Lower Street that's getting glass back.
Yeah. Are any of the businesses open down here? They all closed down?
The only one, there's a art frame gallery down the end that she's actually retiring and going out of business. She wasn't affected by the flood down the end down there. Everything else was taken out.
Yep.
Unfortunately for me, I'm the lowest point in the town.
Yep.
And so mine, I had 8.5 feet of water in ours.
This was your coffee shop?
Yeah. Coffee shop, we own the building also.
Okay.
You know, so it's not a quick process. Like our shop, we started from the ground up. New plumbing, the whole 9 yards, concrete, had to be dug out and all that. So we started literally from scratch. So, you know, but everybody down here is rebuilding. But the thing that's holding everyone up mainly is funding. You know,
were the insurance companies or what?
Nobody had insurance. Flood insurance didn't pay for anything. Nothing. So
none of these businesses had flood insurance. Okay, so how are you getting money then?
Grants.
Go
Main Street. Well, Downtown Spruce Pine's the organization now.
Okay.
Our Downtown Association, which is part of Main Street organization. Mitchell County Development Foundation is raising money. And the good thing about these two organizations is strictly business that they're focused on.
Okay.
There's a lot and stuff. Samaritan Purse has been like great up here. Oh my God. They have done so much for homeowners. It's incredible.
Samaritan Purse. I was just with I saw them down in Lake Lure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
they've done huge, but they are strictly homeowners. They will not do anything business-wise. The government can't help us because there's no legal way for them to give us money.
Okay, so a lot of people always think FEMA is there to give money for everyone.
FEMA has nothing to do with business.
Nothing to do with business.
Just like Samaritan's Purse. Yep.
What about SBA, Small Business Association?
Small business is, I'm sorry, it's a joke.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to say it like that. The terms they've got on their loans is a joke.
Okay.
So no, we've gone for local funding sources for us, and we've got that taken care of.
Okay.
As far as what we need to borrow. The problem is people like myself who already had a note on this building. Now I've got a note on my business.
You're still
after
paying
20
them
years.
your initial mortgage?
Initial mortgage, plus we had to take another note so we could rebuild.
The bank didn't give any forgiveness on that?
Banks won't do anything.
There was no love from them on that one?
There's no love. There's no love. My mortgage, I got sent to collections on, so they said, well, you know, we're going to defer your payments. We're going to, you know, for 4 months, whatever, put them on the back. They sent me to collections.
Okay, so as a business owner, you're not bringing in any revenue, obviously, because you're rebuilding.
Right.
You're paying an original mortgage, and you also need to get a loan to rebuild.
Already got a loan.
You already got a loan to
making
rebuild.
Payments on it. Already making payments
so
on
what?
it.
How are you making? You're just paying from your savings or something? Ouch.
Oh, it hurts. I mean, we were 4 years away from retirement, and now we're starting over again. So good news is the upstairs of my building is intact. We did not lose any tenants on the upstairs. The tenant besides myself, this downstairs, is coming back. So we've got the tenants, will be full occupancy, but that doesn't make up for the $300,000 that I'm going to have in notes that has to be paid back. Here is Treehouse Mountain. The tenant is coming back, and we started over here getting this renovated because since we were at such ground level in the restaurant and we were building from the ground up, over here we were able to put together quicker. So they're going to be open by the end of this month. They'll be back in place.
That's great.
We've got brick. We found matching brick, historic brick. It took us 2 months to source it.
Oh, it's a National Register of Historic Places building?
Exactly. This, as you can tell down here, this was built back in the 50s. We're trying to keep the building and keep the history of the building. But what we did over here, our restaurant, when we first started, we were a renter. DT's was right here.
Okay.
It was on this side. Last March, we remodeled and added this space.
Oh man.
For $50,000, we renovated over here. So now, of course, all that's gone. Everything in here that wasn't tied to electrical was washed out. Every bit of it. All the furniture, that's the water line.
The water line is this.
8.5 feet.
Right up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you have the tracks, and then below that, it's like 20 feet down.
30 feet to the river.
30 feet.
I was in this building at 5, what's that? Fresh just today. At 5:30 in the morning, we were still 10, 15 feet below the railroad tracks. By 11 a.m., this entire town was underwater. It was underwater that quickly. When those rivers combine, and you know, this perfect storm, the storm before the hurricane is the one that got us. Because we were already 3 feet above flood level before the hurricane.
Okay.
So what happened is that storm came from the west, and then you had Helene come up from the south. They merged, and it pulled all that moisture right up into these mountains. That's why we've never seen anything this catastrophic up here. You know, you look at the depot.
Train depot?
Yeah, that's the train depot right there, and the water was up to those gutters.
Oh, wow.
But the water literally was up to here, all the way down this street. Sabelco, one of the local mines, has purchased this building. It's been in disrepair, and it's really in disrepair now after the flood. So they bought it, and they're going to put a gallery in here basically, and office space, but they're going to show their mining operations. People can walk in and out of it.
So mining is a thing in the area?
Quartz.
Okay.
The quartz, when you have microchips that are made,
yep,
purest quartz in the world come out of Spruce Pine. That's what we're known for. All the semiconductors, everything. Okay, this is where it comes from. Okay, and you have to have that.
Important place.
Very important place. So Sabelco is a huge part of that, as well as Quartz Core. But everything's being rebuilt.
Okay. One last thing, if you don't mind. What's the biggest takeaway you've got from this experience? Either personal or
You never know what tomorrow holds, and you can't give up on today. You stick with today because tomorrow you don't know what's going to happen, and that's exactly what happened here. We went from one day everything was fine to the next day we had nothing. So we lost $100,000 damage on our home. We had $600,000 damage down here. You know, so net cost to me is $1.8 million is what I've lost. So that's huge. You know, so you don't know what tomorrow brings. You know, but it's built on hope and the people and the support and my God, the volunteers that have come into these communities to help out. It's been intense. So now it's about love. I mean, it's mended relationships. It's mended people's spirits, you know, just for the matter of rebuilding. That's huge. That's what it's all about. And, you know, it's small town America. That's what it's about. It's about perseverance because we're only going to get so much help from the outside. We got to take care of it. You know, we got to get it done. So that's what it is. Live today. Live today, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I'll see you in a year or so.
I'll be here.
All right. So there you go, guys. Downtown Spruce Pine on the comeback. All right, and then one street up, you have this. Completely untouched, normal life. No rebuilding. Everything stayed intact. All right, we're up another little vein here, and you can see the mudslides. Basically avalanche chutes coming down the mountains, and if you're at the end of that, well, that's what your house looks like. This is the town of Pensacola. Maybe the worst we've seen today as far as the rubble in town. You can see over here, that was a gas station. An old school gas station.
We're working on the other side of the county at Cane River.
I was just down Cane River.
Okay.
This looks like I got hit harder. Or
in certain spots, yes. But all the water from here runs through Cane River. See, Cane River's had a lot of rebuilding done.
So what's going on up here in Pensacola right now?
Everybody's starting to make their way this way. It started on one side. Well, it started in Spruce Pine and started on the west side, and then is working towards the middle.
Okay, so who are you guys working with?
I work for myself.
Oh, nice.
Business called Tipton and Sons.
Tipton and Sons?
Tipton and Sons. It's me and my dad and my brother.
Excavating?
Yep. We do grading and
somebody gave us a piece of pipe, and I got sent up here, but I ain't got no phone signal, so I don't know where I'm supposed to go. But
wow, this is wild.
it is.
So you got your work cut out for you for a while.
Oh yeah.
These are your help?
Well, I brought them with me for today. I left my employees at work, so they didn't. I brought these boys, and they said they'd help me.
How are they doing? They doing all right?
They do all right.
All right, cool. How's it going, guys? Sometimes.
Yeah, if it feeds us good.
Yeah.
What do you feed? What are you feeding?
Probably go to Little Smokies after this.
What are you packing there?
45.
Open carry
Open
and
carry.
North Carolina style.
Oh yeah.
You were here when it happened? Were you next to a riverbed or no?
I was actually, I am on the fire department. Everybody come together pretty quick. There's people in the woods, that put chainsaw crews together and started cutting their way out.
Yeah.
Without their help, we'd have never been able to, we'd still be trying to get into places without people's help. There's a lot of people that's done a lot of work nobody knows about. These no-name people from the county that has done all this work is finally getting a little bit of recognition.
Well, I'm trying to show you guys.
When all these big name people, from out of state is coming in and they getting everything.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
these
saying.
small name people that's went in,
Okay.
is making a big difference.
Well, I got a guy that's been running an excavator for 222 days straight, except one weekend off. I got him on camera the other day.
Did you?
And he's local.
Good. You couldn't ask for no better of people. Everybody wanting to help.
I thought I was going to have a hard time of it today. Maybe a hard time like talking to people because it's
right.
A catastrophe.
No.
Not at all.
A lot of these people want their story out there because the government covered it up.
They want their story out, yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of things that was just kicked under the rug, but it needs to be known.
Yeah, it's fair to say Pensacola got smashed pretty hard. But all of this help that came here from all over the country, all the resources that poured in, is a beautiful thing. And imagine if it was the opposite. Imagine if it was nobody cared, nobody wanted to help. That would be extremely discouraging. But the beauty that we don't so often see on our social media or in the media, most people want to come together and help, and most people are good people. And this catastrophe is clear evidence of that from what I've seen here. It's really quite cool, quite special. Your place look like that?
All this look like that.
All the debris?
Through hard work, we got it done. Yeah, through hard work. I replaced all the walls. I built the shed. They were 7 foot and 4 inches of water in my basement.
What about your neighbor? Are they still living there?
No. Everything. He lives in a camper over there, but everything is dead in the water over there. So, yeah. He's moving out. He's moving.
So you just got on it with the cleanup?
Well, I had help. As people come in here and bless me with a lot of free work. This guy, Mitch Goodwin, he come here, he cleaned out a lot, piled all that up, and all my garden space, he hauled dirt. Him and my nephew, they put it all back. So I'm good.
There's only one road out, really, because you got the mountain over there. I'm sure that road wasn't happening. So how did you get out?
I didn't. They have guys in side-by-sides.
Yeah. Oh, they got the side-by-sides. How many days before those guys came in?
It was several days. Several days, because they had to work their way in. Yeah. No fuel up here.
So what's going through your mind when you're stranded out here? No power, no communications. Are you like, when are they coming?
I never did deal with it.
How's my neighbor?
Yeah. Where's everybody at?
Because his sister, my aunt, lives up here. We hadn't seen her, so I hadn't seen her, and I finally saw him and saw her.
That's my nephew, so we're all close.
Yeah.
We're all kinfolk around here. So
you're all tight knit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good community?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And I've got everybody's good for me.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't crying about nothing.
We're blessed. We're here.
I tell you, that's the way I am. I'm happy.
It's all attitude, huh?
Better have it or you'll fall.
Survive.
Wow, the river flooded its banks so much it took out the highway. See, we're on the other side. They're redoing the bridge. The highway on the right side, I think this is 26. That warehouse got ripped out. What a day today, guys. We covered a ton of ground. It's 8 o'clock at night. Started this morning. Did my best to show you as much as possible, but the scope and scale of this thing is so insane. You're not gonna get it through the camera, and I'm not even getting it here, being here for a few days. It's just go in that direction, go in that direction. It all depends what valley or holler someone's in, how bad they've been affected. But as you can see here in Tennessee, this town at least, I got hit really hard. So guys, a few things I want you to take away from this. One, to get it right, it would take a year here, talking to hundreds of thousands of people, right? And so today was just a little snapshot. I talked to as many people as I could. Nothing was planned, and I don't know what people are gonna say, so that's what makes it interesting, and we heard different opinions on the situation. Also, don't just watch my content if you want to understand. No one has the full truth of this situation. Watch other people's content, take information from different places. It's impossible to get the full scope of this thing from one creator. And lastly, the cool spirit that came through today and the last shoot I did, it's just the optimism, the people coming together. Yes, there are many people suffering still, and those who lost loved ones the most, obviously. But there is a spirit and a beauty in the people here in Appalachia that is really a beautiful thing to be part of. All right, guys, thanks for coming on that journey. Until the next one.